Welcome back to Network Africa. Opposition activists in Zimbabwe have held a large rally in the capital, Harare, to demand that the Electoral Commission be disbanded and that next year's presidential poll be supervised by the United Nations, the African Union and the Southern African Development Community. The activists, protesting under the banner of the National Election Reform Agenda, NERA, says the government and commission has failed to implement electoral reforms and the poll is already been rigged. The main opposition leader, Morgan Tsvangirai, also says that his supporters will take to the streets if his demands for free and fair elections are not met. Addressing his supporters on the outskirts of the Central Business District, Mr. Tsvangirai accused the state of undermining the right of Zimbabweans to vote in next year's presidential and parliamentary elections, when he and his movement for democratic change will once more try to end the long rule of President Robert Mugabe. Previous elections have been marred by violence, intimidation and allegations of widespread rigging. The former Vice President of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Jean-Pierre Bemba, has been ordered to pay a fine of 300,000 euros for bribing witnesses at his war crimes trial. This is in addition to the one-year prison sentence he has been given for the crime. Judge Bertram Schmidt ruled that Bemba must serve the sentence consecutively to an 18-year term he is already serving after being convicted of war crimes related to the conflict in the Central African Republic in 2002 and 2003. The police in Uganda have launched a manhunt for 4 flying squad officers accused of shooting dead a 3-year-old girl and wounding her mother and a man at a village in the central Michiana district on Monday. A police statement says the 4 officers were not on official assignment when they allegedly murdered Viola Makuwuka and injured her mother and a 23-year-old man. The motive behind the shooting is unclear, and neither the accused nor their lawyers have commented. The police statement adds that the 4 suspects are currently on the run and are fugitives from the law. Libyan authorities have deported 173 illegal migrants who arrived in the country illegally in recent months to Côte d'Ivoire. The migrants were deported from Mitiga International Airport in Tripoli as part of a deportation program, which Libyan authorities refer to as voluntary return, which puts migrants on a one-way flight back to their home countries. The program has so far deported almost 1,000 illegal migrants since last December. However, thousands more are still making the journey to European shores via the Mediterranean. A baby girl from Côte d'Ivoire who was born with 4 legs and 2 spines has been successfully separated from a parasitic twin in a rare and complex surgery at a Chicago hospital. 10-month-old Dominic underwent a 6-hour procedure involving 5 surgeons at the Advocate Children's Hospital in Park Ridge, Illinois on March the 8th. She's now thriving with the Chicago foster family who will look after her until she's well enough to return home. Dominic was born with a parasitic twin. The bottom half of her not fully developed twin's body protruded from her neck and her back.
A parasitic twin is an identical twin that fails to fully separate in development. So typically identical twins will become 2 individuals. In certain cases they won't be, and they'll be connected, and that connection can vary. In Dominique's case, it was a parasitic twin. In other words, not another independent twin, but a twin that was dependent on her body system, such that Dominique's heart and lungs provided the nourishment to basically, in her case, it was, if you can imagine, everything from the waist down of the parasitic twin was coming out of Dominique's back, including 2 legs and 2 feet.
We had an enormous amount of imaging, specialized imaging, that would allow us to identify her own native anatomy, the anatomy of the parasitic twin, and anticipate the problems we might see. Around that, Dr. Rugi put together a team of surgeons. There were 5 surgeons in various disciplines so that we could pre-plan what we intended to do and minimize any opportunity for a surprise during surgery.
Residents of the Egyptian capital, Cairo, now have a new outlet to release frustrations built up living in a crowded megacity. Armed with a baseball bat and offered an array of targets ranging from old televisions to clay urns and wooden chairs, angry residents can vent their fury in a choice of 6 rage rooms.
Ahmed Nasserat set up the venture called Unleashed with his brother Mason last month.
Whether it is a silly argument or something else, sometimes you want to let it all out, but many social factors stop, so you can come to this place to release negative energy. That's the idea of this place.
For a fee, clients are outfitted in protective gear from head to toe and led into one of the 6 rooms where they can hack away at the objects of their anger. Mason says the brothers wanted to create a space where people can go to get active and simultaneously let off steam, adding of the concept of feeling the world, your day and everything.
Watching, I'm Temi Fagbemi.